Alrighty, how's it going everybody? Jonathan here with Boston Collectors. It's kinda early, I slept a little late, so forgive the flow of this video. I was up reading Jedi Battle Scars, it dropped at 12 a.m., so forgive me. Getting back on topic here, tech was announced last night, just before Tuesday, and here we are on a fine Tuesday morning. So I have to admit the price did shock me at $279. I have to admit I did think the price was going to be slightly higher, not too much. I thought it was going to be about $285, and $279 is pretty good, but we'll get into this shortly. For now, let's go ahead and talk about the flexible payment options. As always, right? I put my stuff on payment plans. I go for the 5th of every month. I like to get these things out early. I go for the highest number of payments as well. So the highest for this one is 5, and the payments start as early as December 5th of this year. Speaking of which, it's expected to ship between April of 2024 and September of 2024. It's only a year away, so that's very exciting to hear, especially for a collector like me who personally enjoy Bad Batch Season 1. When it comes to the about, it's just typically a general description of what Tech is, what he's about, all of that good stuff. There isn't really much to go on here in terms of anything that might be hiding in their wording. Details, we've come to understand that it's Star Wars, we know who Tech is, all that good stuff. But what's in the box is typically where I like to start things off. So obviously we have the likeness of Tech from Bad Batch. We have the newly developed portrait, which he comes with. We have one newly crafted helmet with an articulated visor, wearable on the portrait as well. He stands approximately 31 centimeters tall, over 30 points of articulations, and he comes with 7 pieces of interchangeable gloved hands. Now these include a pair of relaxed hands, a pair of pistol holding hands, one pair of accessory holding hands, they omitted the S for whatever reason, typical typo, and one gesturing left hand, so chances are this is the pointing hand. As far as the costume, we have the armor, which they all have their own special armor, right? If you're familiar with the Bad Batch, you know that this isn't new. We also have the utility belt with the blaster holder, black colored and multi-textured fabric undersuit. In terms of weapons, Tech didn't use a lot. I've only seen him using blaster pistols unless he needed to use something else, so he's only coming with 2 blaster pistols, and that's okay. As far as accessories, we also have the military backpack, which is equipped with a magnetic function, very similar to what we've received in the past, right? From Clone Troopers, Bad Batch Echo, and Hunter. This isn't new for us. We also have a pair of aimer goggles, which these are also wearable on the portrait, a data pad, a torch, a pair of tongs, a welder, a hammer, and 2 thermal detonators. And well, last but not least, we also have the character nameplate and the textured graphic card. Other than that, that's everything that we have here. Sideshow did not post the photos here on their website yet because we're kinda early. So let's go ahead and kick it on over to Facebook. So here we have Tech, and when I tell you I was excited, I was actually playing video games last night with the wife when these were announced, so just right off the rip, he looks really, really nice. This is awesome. Now I see what they mean by the multi-textured fabric suit. It's got this rib feel going on here between the it's sort of stop at the knee and then sort of go up until about, I would say maybe the chest. Yeah, okay, now I understand that at least. Don't forget, this is a prototype. It kind of looks a little bit toy-like to me, but again, it's a prototype, you know, they get a pass for that. The data chart in here sort of looks a little wonky, kind of off, but you know, they get a pass. It's a prototype they shot. And here we get our first look at Tech without the helmet on, and he looks awesome. I have to say, chances are I'm probably going to have him with the goggles on in my display, and that's if I don't have him with the helmet on. This is how I know Tech, so it's either the goggles or the helmet. I'll just have to wait and see when he come in. Now, another thing to point out here in this photo is the fact that his hand is sort of grasping at nothing. I'm not sure why they're so against giving fists to their characters, but this is just kind of very awkward. I'm not against the relaxed hands typing on the pad there. I'm not asking for typing hands here. It's just, it works. But when it comes to this, just, I don't know, man. That just looks a little off to me. From the looks of it, we have a little bit of pleather. It looks like we have pleather moving from molded plastic beneath molded plastic. Chances are these are also pleather as well, but that's interesting. There's not a lot of pleather, which makes me hope that they kind of go the genuine leather route, but we'll have to wait and see. As far as the backpack here, it looks very similar to the Echo. I didn't really do a comparison. It looks the same to me, and that's okay. Chances are that rock is not part of the display, but you know, they wanted to incorporate it to give it more of an effect. Now this is where, and we're gonna talk about this, and I believe it's in the next photo. Tech's got a chubby face here. And when you look at the rest of the clones, like Hunter, for example, and Echo, but Echo, I understand, you know, his Skako Minor thing, you know, he's a little ghostly. Apologies if you hear the planes in the background. It's, hey, we're in Boston here. I feel like this might be a lens thing where it's lens distortion kind of doing something different to his face. And I'm going to tell you why in a photo coming up shortly. For now, though, he looks good. I have to admit, even though he looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger, he looks good. The hairline and everything works. It looks like what a real-life Tech would look like, at least to me. So we have the gesturing hand. The hand works there for his helmet. I have no problems with that. The suit looks great. It does look like I might want to have to take it back. It looks like molded plastic going around here, especially there. With the way that the light is hitting it, it makes it look like molded plastic versus here, it looks like pleather. So they could totally just go with a genuine leather route if they wanted to. So this is what I want to point out before we really talk about the display styles here. When you look at this portrait in conjunction with this, let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit. The face looked bigger in comparison to what we have here. Unfortunately, Facebook won't allow me to keep it a certain way, so the portrait here is a lot bigger than it is here. This to me looks like Tech a lot more than it does on the previous photo. So chances are they use different lenses for this, but we'll talk about that later on. This makes me happy right here. This looks like Tech with the goggles on, with his visor up, and with the visor down. This looks just like Tech. Even in the same photo, if you notice the color grading, which one is it? Come on, Hot Toys. Like, shout out to all the creatives out there, the photographers, all that good stuff. But when you're trying to promote a product and you're trying to get us excited for it, what am I to expect between this? I'm not really sure what's going on here. But as we back away again, just talking about the display style strictly, I do like the way both of these look. I like the left and the middle photo here because this is how I know Tech, and he looks awesome. Now this is that same, I want to say the B1 droid that we saw with the Super Battle droids when they were announced, but it could be a tease, maybe not. It could be something older, but we know Hot Toys don't really just throw things in for nothing, but sometimes they do too. So this just could be nothing, but together they look incredible. We'll be talking about Wrecker soon. Wow, look at this. That's a really nice pose too. I probably would have had that foot out a little bit more, but wow. He looks awesome. It's just the portrait. I think they used the same lens from before, but yeah, he looks really nice here. The holster also over there on the left side. Really nice. Yeah, I really like the, I'm wondering if it's going to be a grayish white or bone white, simply because of the photo. And here we get a good look at the tools that he's coming with. He's got the, I think this is the welder. We've got the tongs. It looks like a screwdriver, maybe a flashlight. We've got the data pad as well. That helmet is so cool. See, his portrait looks really good here. This looks like Tech. They did it again, and the hair color is different now. It's got a browner look to it. Interesting. It's actually happening right here in this in the accessories card. The hair color is different. I don't know which is it. Literally side by side, you see the portrait difference. Interesting. Either way, I would like it to look like this, and the hair color as well. But anyway, getting back to the accessory sheet, we have the data pad, we have the accessories in terms of his tongs and the welder, we have the thermal detonators, we have the hands. Obviously, again, I would love a set of fist hands. I guess he could probably get away with this being the hand that make it look a little bit more realistic, but he will probably have to be holding something to make it look better. But other than that, Tech looks incredible. So that takes us back to, is it worth the price? So for $279 here on Sideshow, I don't know where you all purchase from. I purchase, pre-order all of my figures from Sideshow. But the question is, everything here, $279. So we have the portrait, we have the goggles, we have the helmet, which is standard. You need those for the figure, right? But the helmet articulate. I have to say, I would have wanted maybe half a portrait in the helmet rather than putting the helmet over the portrait itself because I don't want to damage it. If there's a time where I would like to use the portrait maybe with the goggles and he's got scuffs on his cheeks or on the back of his head, that's gonna be a little bothersome. I don't know if it's gonna be like Ray and Dio with the helmet where it's got this padding inside, which could die into the portrait. I'm hoping that that's not the case, but I would have liked having a portrait where the eyes are included in the helmet and a separate portrait itself. That's my only gripe with the figure other than the portrait, but it's very difficult to say if the portrait, if it's meant to look like this here or if it's meant to look like this over on the left. But other than that, he looks awesome. I'm very happy with this one. I think for $279, I'm going to go ahead and say that it's worth the price. Even more so if they go ahead and decide to give us genuine leather on the, it looks like even on the back, those might be molded plastic. I can't really tell, but all of the pouches are molded plastic, at least here. Not to mention the ones around his shin armor there. But for $279, I'm going to go ahead and say it's worth it, y'all. Let us know down below if you think it's worth it. Are you going to go ahead and pick this up? Is he on your list? Are you going to maybe flesh out the whole batch, or are you just going to pick your favorites and is Tech one of them? Let us know down below, and as always, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the flippity flop.